The woman had just returned from the hospital when she overheard her brother's wife speaking ill of her behind her back, saying that the woman's husband had died young, and that staying with their family was just freeloading, now that their house was about to be demolished in order to prevent the woman from getting a share of the demolition compensation. Her brother's wife demanded that he kick her out before the demolition, but the older brother, out of concern for familial bonds, didn't know how to broach the subject with the woman. Unexpectedly, his wife, seeing him hesitate for so long, thought he had an affair with the woman. The woman, standing outside the door, heard this remark and immediately pushed open the door to prove her innocence. But the brother's wife didn't take the woman seriously at all. It turns out that the woman's husband had passed away early and her son had been hospitalized due to illness. Now, the woman staying at their house was seen as a burden. The brother's wife even bluntly said that since the woman's husband was dead, the woman and her family had nothing to do with him anymore. However, the older brother retorted, saying that as the eldest brother, it was his duty to take care of his younger brother's wife. How could she say they had no relationship? However, in this family, it was the brother's wife who had the final say. So, to avoid putting the older brother in a difficult position, the woman decided to move out. Unexpectedly, the woman turned around and went to the matchmaking market. It turns out she had been widowed for over 10 years and could no longer bear people gossiping about her behind her back. She decided to start a new marriage. What she didn't expect was that her first matchmaking candidate was actually a creepy man. The creepy man, upon hearing about the woman's situation, showed a look of disgust and immediately left. At the same time, the CEO behind her also had a failed matchmaking attempt. As the two got up at the same time, they accidentally bumped into each other. The CEO picked up the woman's dropped resume and saw that she was actually his classmate. Upon realizing that they were both there for matchmaking, they shared an awkward smile. The CEO was deeply moved by her smile and directly proposed marriage to the woman.
Please, just do well and subscribe now to my channel. Thank you.
After a decisive flash marriage between the woman and the president concealed the fact that he had a fortune worth hundreds of millions, falsely claiming that he was just a small-time driver. At this time, the woman suggested moving in with the president, and the president readily agreed because the woman before him was the president's secret crush from middle school. Afterward, the president returned home and immediately instructed his assistant to purchase a small house and bring over the expensive necklace because he wanted to marry the woman in grand style. On the other side, while the woman was packing her luggage at home, her brother's wife barged in unexpectedly, claiming she was worried the woman might take something she shouldn't. After all, the woman had been living there for over a decade, and who could guarantee she wouldn't have any ideas of her own? Then the brother's wife forcibly began searching through the woman's luggage. Unexpectedly, she found a bank card belonging to the woman and insisted that the woman had stolen money from the family. In fact, the money was what the woman had painstakingly saved over the years. But despite the woman's desperate explanations, the brother's wife wouldn't believe her. Just because the woman only earned 3,000 yuan a month and her son was still in the hospital. In this situation, how could she have possibly saved any money? But the woman explained that this was life-saving money for her son, begging her not to take it away. However, the brother's wife declared that everything the woman had eaten, worn, and used over the past 10 years was provided by their family. So now this money would serve as compensation to them. Seeing that the brother's wife was being unreasonable and wouldn't return it, the woman directly bit her. Seeing the bank card fall to the ground, the woman quickly picked it up and held it tightly in her arms. The brother's wife, seeing this, became furious and tried to teach her a lesson. Fortunately, the older brother's mother heard the commotion and came to stop her behavior. However, seeing this, the brother's wife started to accuse the woman falsely, saying she not only had a lover outside, but was also planning to move out. Upon hearing this, the older brother's mother began to reprimand the woman.